Welcome to A Beginner's Guide to Mooching. My name's James Tinsley. Put simply, mooching's the art of acquiring beer, smokes, lifts, basically anything you need to have a good night out without actually paying for it yourself. Living with your parents well into your 20s is also another good form of mooching. Then you've got things like food, a cleaning service, a car with petrol in it, phone, and even some money on occasion. Now this might sound cheap or tight or really quite nasty. So it's important at this point to know, mooching is something you do out of necessity, not greed. You need to think of yourself as a not-for-profit organisation. You know, you're not doing this to rip people off or save money. Therefore, there's some fundamentals you need to follow when mooching. A confident, entertaining introduction reminds people you're someone they want to spend time with. Include people in your entrance. Don't be scared to experiment and make mooching fun. Mooching's like a cup of tea. Some people like sugar, some don't. Mum, did you put sugar in this? You want to be strategic when choosing where to sit at the pub. The two most important areas are the bar and the toilet. The reasons are simple. You want to be near the bar to help your mates carry their shout back. This has a great double effect. Makes you look like a good bloke to the guy you're helping, and it creates the illusion to the rest of the table that you've in fact shouted that round. The other reason is for when everyone's trying to work out whose shout it is. The moment you hear someone say, "Whose hook is it?" that's your cue to jump to the toilet. And you don't have to wait for someone to say it. Anticipation's everything. This is where instinct starts to kick in. Mooching dates back to biblical times. You can guarantee at least one of the 12 apostles was a moocher. Following a guy who can turn water into wine, perform miracles. What a target. Mate! When mooching, you can't be a fly on the wall. You need to be entertaining. When you're getting your beers for free, you need to be funny, insightful, maybe even controversial. You have to read people around you and perform accordingly. People need to want you to be there. Know the people around you and exactly how they fit into your mooching experience. Now obviously your targets are going to vary from time to time. People are different and they need to be dealt with in different ways. There are your allies. You always have one or two, possibly even 3 friends who know exactly what you're doing. They know you have no money and they kind of enjoy watching you in action. They'll happily supply you with beers, smokes and even money throughout the day. But they'll also make you work hard for it at times and almost threaten to unravel your beautiful plans. If you're living at home with your parents, they'll fit into this category. Use these people to your advantage. Your tight-ass friends. They don't mooch as such, but they keep track of who has and hasn't been buying beers. If they work out what you're doing, you'll be exposed. Pay these people extra attention, pour their beers, and when you eventually pay for something, make sure they're well aware. After you've worked out these 2 types of people, you have the rest. Strangers, groups of girls, drunk men, your female friends and your boyfriend, your mate's foreign girlfriend, basically anyone. The important thing is to be opportunistic. You never know where your next beer is going to come from. Another thing to bear in mind when mooching is your presentation. You need to dress well, but having said that, not too well. You don't want to look like someone who spends too much time and money on fashion, even if you have. That's why the best moochers are poets, out-of-work actors, writers, artists, musicians. Basically anyone who doesn't have a steady income and doesn't really look like having one. Pay compliments. For the girls, easy. Their hair looks great. Is that a new bag? Their skin's looking so clear. It's glowing. You know, the list goes on. For the lads, you can guarantee most of your buddies work out and think their guns are massive. So here's a tip. Ask them for a weights program. It might be boring, but if you feed their egos, they'll feed you beer. If they're lacking in the body department, tell them some chicks across the bar are checking them out. You need to shout at least 1 round. So do it before anyone asks you to, or before anyone's onto the fact that you haven't. Make it clear. It's your shout. A good way of doing this is clearing the table of empties. This sends a message without you having to say it. Now I know some of you might be asking, well, what if I've got no money? Good point. It'd be good if you brought some money with you, but if you haven't, don't despair. When you're helping one of your allies that we identified earlier, this is the perfect time to borrow a lobster, or they could be in the wrong fucking order, couldn't they? It's a perfect time to borrow a lobster, or if you're feeling game, a pineapple. Just make sure you don't do it in front of anyone else. If you do this, the jig's up. And remember, your parents aren't going to be out, so hit them up as you leave the house. Be prepared. Well, now hopefully this will get you started on a successful career in mooching. Mooching's an art, not a science. Use these techniques for good, not evil. And remember, mooching's about bringing joy to others and beer to you.
And I'm waking up and getting out of bed every day. I know it's winter, got some school to do today. My clothes on the heater, I haven't showered, getting dressed yet, but wait. I'm going off to school with some black shoes every day. I know a pretty girl, she waits on the corner there for me. Hey, you pretty girl, I wanna tell you about a dream I had last night about you and me.